They're at the start of their journey, they think outside the box, and they often come up with bright ideas. They are a new generation of business people, and their distinguishing features are creativity and enthusiasm. This is the World of Startups, the program about IT developers and the industry of startups.
Greetings to all fans of high-tech. This is the World of Startups and I, Sergey Kakishev. In our releases, we talk not only about the revolutionary IT technologies, services and gadgets, but also show how they work. The International University of Information Technologies in Almaty held the Innovations for Children Hackathon for the first time, together with UNICEF Kazakhstan. We will tell you about the solutions proposed by the startups in our overview. Social hackathon is a new trend in the Kazakhstani startup ecosystem. This year, the authorities of the cities turned to the startups with the problem of waste recovery. The Almaty Zoo is in search for ideas for the development of the organization. Not so long ago, the representational office of UNICEF designed several tasks in the field of protection of children's rights and improvement of their well-being to the pupils and students.
Well, it's the first event that we have together with the International IT University in Almaty. It's the start of a new venture for us in UNICEF in Kazakhstan, where we try very much to tap into the potential of youth in the area of computer science and programming.
The participants had to implement the prototype on the provided topics: playgrounds, gender equality, supporting adolescents with risk of suicidal behavior, and support for children with disabilities within 2 days. More than 660 pupils applied for participation, students and residents of the Almaty Business Incubator. 15 projects were admitted to the finals, best 3 of which were selected by the expert commission. The majority of the solutions need to be taken further. It's only the initial stage, so to say. But those 3 winner teams have shown that their application is enough at the high level of a readiness. In 2 days, they managed to realize a real prototype and complete operating mobile application. As a result of the hackathon, the makers team representing the International University of Information Technologies got the first place and a grant of 350,000 tenge. The children created a mobile application on the iOS and Android platforms in Kazakh language, which will allow anonymous consultation with a psychologist at the possibility of selecting one of the 7 proposed characters, such as mother, sister or a girlfriend. The feeling is indescribable. Everybody was in shock. We won the first place, that is, in the part of support for young people exposed to suicidal behavior. The other finalist is the team of developers, which included students from the Almaty University of Energy and Communications and students from the Sami School. The guys have presented the mobile application that facilitates parents and teenagers' communication. Some gamification elements were used in the development of the application. The main function is that when you go to the first section, you get different things around the house, and when the child performs these actions, he gets points for it. In the same application, these points can be exchanged. For example, you can go to the cinema with parents. Parents can supplement special works not included into the application. One more project that got jury's attention is the service for identification of playgrounds which are absent or in need for reconstruction, and the notification about it to the municipal and city services. Finalist teams have been encouraged with the monetary prizes and plan to finish the projects together with UNICEF. Having found keen interest in social themes, the organizers of the hackathon are intended to make it on a regular basis. Mozzarella, burrata, ricotta, who would have thought that these delicates are produced in Kazakhstan? Our correspondents will tell you about how to compete with mozzarella homeland. The Italian equipment, milk of local production, and the specialists trained by the European colleagues. That is the secret of success of this company. Last year, this Almaty plant started production of young cheese, mozzarellas, ricotta and burrata. According to the founders, the decision of the startup came up by growing needs of the market for the known Italian delicates. We felt that there was cheese insufficiency in the Almaty market, and we decided not to bring it from Russia or Italy or from Belgium as we did it earlier. We opted to create the production with the use of Kazakhstani produced milk, which we buy from Almaty region and process it by the Italian technology. Mozzarella production process takes up to 5 hours, and it's usually carried out in the first half of the day. First step is to supply milk, then the filtering, and then raw materials enter the starter container, where it's heated to a temperature of 36 degrees Celsius. Warm milk is fermented with enzyme renne, whereby its solidified serum is drained and the formed cheese grain is transferred to a melting machine, after which the cheese passes molding. The classical mozzarella has the form of white balls. To make this form, the cheese mass is literally shot under water pressure from special molds. It falls into the cold water where it gradually cools down. Another delicious product, burrito, is made by hand. Its production requires certain skills from the cheesemaker. A hot cheese mass is collected in the bag, which had previously been laid with mozzarella plates from within. Thus, the burrata ball reminds a mozzarella from the outside, but on the inside it has a soft, creamy consistence. A large part of the finished product is sent by cheesemakers to the restaurants and hotels of Almaty. The maximum storage time of cheese is 7 to 10 days. During the production, they don't add substances, prolonging their shelf life. Giorgio Palazzi, renowned restaurator of Almaty, tasted mozzarella of local production and notes how close it tastes to the original.
Есть протокол. Вот так ты другой сыр нельзя. Это надо помидор.
There is a protocol of how to do it. For preparation, we need potato, tomatoes, basil and mozzarella. I imported cheese by plane. It is very expensive, so it's ideal that there is one company that makes it here.
Человек, который придумал и сделал сам здесь.
The company is planning to build its own farm in order to constantly receive high-quality milk in sufficient quantities. In addition, it's planning to produce cheese such as Brinzan cheese and Chechel. Almaty has hosted the 5th International Conference on Mobile Services and Payments, Moby Event 16. This year, the issues of the market development of mobile government, banking and financial services became the main theme of the event. Our next review is about the latest news from the Moby Event 16 sites. According to statistics, in the first quarter of 2016, the volume of investments in fintech companies amounted to $5.3 billion in the world, which is 67% higher compared to the same period last year. There are many opinions among experts that fintech begins to displace traditional institutions, such as banking institutions. According to the discussions of the Moby Event Conference, the financial players are not waiting when they will be challenged by startups and are actively implementing innovations in their work. We saw a discussion between them. First, our banks are very actively developed. We saw that between them there is an obvious competition. After taking a survey of the whole, we understood that the small banks are beginning to eat the clients from the large banks. And it's very cool because it shows that our market is developing. The small banks have no departments. They only have the internet and the mobile application. They get their clients very easily from large banks. The current players of the banking sector noted a huge increase of services provided online. For example, homebank.kz is visited by 3,100,000 people within a month. It's twice more than visits in physical branches of the bank, and the number of visits of the mobile application of the same financial institution is 1,600,000 people, and it seems that it's not a limit. A big trend is just the development, the growth of popular contactless payments, so-called PayWave, PayPass, NFS payments. It's developing very quickly. For example, you can look at September this year. We see nearly 122,000 payments which have passed through us. These payments were contactless, and a year ago that figure was 10,000, and 2 years ago it was 2,000, and it means that it's growing very rapidly. According to The Guardian newspaper, the development of the fintech in many countries already results in non-cash transaction replacement of paper money. The same is happening in Sweden, where cash operations have amounted less than to 2% of the total number of transactions last year. According to the master controller, by 2020, this figure will drop to 0.5%. Perhaps it's all for today. Thank you for being with us today. Sergei Kokishev and the world of startups were with you. All the best. See you right here in a week on Kazakh TV.